This is Just Tool Basics, and today we're talking about aviation snips. Hello everyone, welcome to Just Tool Basics. Today's topic is aviation snips, which are the common name for compound action snips. And they're called that because of this joint arrangement giving you some mechanical advantage. Now, you'll commonly hear these things called tin snips. However, they're technically not. Tin snips are like big scissors. They are dependent on your own pressure. And you do have some mechanical advantage from the lever because the joint is close to the head. However, this compound action arrangement gives you more pressure in a much smaller package, allowing you to just use your hand motion as opposed to having to use a two-handed motion. Also called mail snips or sheet snips, aviation snips are kind of the go-to way for rough shaping thinner metals, 18 gauge or less aluminum, 24 gauge or less mild steel, 26 gauge or less stainless steel, and really any other flexible thin thing. So thin plastics, some foils, even wire. But most of the time you're going to be dealing with sheet metal. Now, the type of aviation snips can be identified by their handles, the handle color. Yellow are straight line cut. These are straight line cut. Green are right hand cut. This is also an offset arrangement set of aviation snips. And that just lets you keep your hand out of the way as you're cutting. Red are left hand turn. And then these blue handle are long cut. Now, blue is not an official color, but it's not an uncommon color to find the long cut. And that just lets you cut. And these are straight cut as well. And the long jaws let you just take bigger bites per cut for long straight cuts. Now, with the red and green handles, you can cut straight. You can fight it to cut straight, but it kind of wants to go in the direction, again, left for red, right for green. And I can show this. So this is just a little piece of random aluminum from a pile of random aluminum offcuts. And so, for example, this cut, this green, you can make it cut straight, as you see, but it also kind of wants to drift off to the right. Now, and I mangled that a little bit, but not too bad. The yellows will really fight you to do anything but the shallowest curve cuts. And you can cut either way. You can cut it a little bit to the right, a little bit to the left, but you're not going to get the tight radius that you can get with the colored handle ones. And last we'll do this. So as you can see, I can force it to cut straight, or if you just kind of don't fight it, it will cut a nice left-hand radius. And now you can see this isn't a finished edge or anything like that, but it does get you a nice rough shape. There are little tails that come off, but easy to file down, easy to trim off with a variety of other tools that are designed for making a nice edge. These are for rough shaping or for cutting off an overhang, things like that. You can see that the blades are slightly serrated. You can see these these blades are not in the best condition because I've had them for forever. But the serrations are so that it tends not to slip on whatever material you're cutting, especially when you get into steel and stainless steel. It's more of a fight to cut it with the aviation snips. Long jaw, same thing. Very slight serration on the jaws. And I'll give a quick demo of these as well. since I have to cut this mangled end off anyway. See, the blue straight lines, they do a quality job. It's definitely, of these four, these cut the cleanest. But again, you don't have much variability in the cut line. It is a straight ahead cut. Now, you can see in these yellow ones, for example, that the jaws are a little bit chewed up. These are not a super hard blade, so they're really not designed for cutting really hard materials. There are models called Special Hard, which have hardened blades and have a little bit more mechanical advantage, and they are made for cutting things as hard as titanium. I don't have those because I don't have a need to cut sheet titanium, but they exist. Now, as I mentioned, you can cut stainless up to 26 gauge. However, if you cut stainless all the time, with the jaws not being hardened like that, you're going to wear out your aviation snips faster than you otherwise might. There are much better tools for cutting stainless if you need to do it. There are nibblers, there are shears that have very high mechanical advantage with hardened cutters. So if that's what you're buying it for, these would not be my top recommendation for you. That said, they're a really nice general use tool, and a pack of 3 of them are really cheap. I'll leave some links down in the description and you can check them out. So until next time, this is Just Tool Basics.